Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Friday, March 23rd, 2012. This is Michael from CFRN. I'm going to go over the trades from the live trading room this morning. Let me just go over the results first. We had quite a few trades, but we ended up break even everywhere but the Russell. On the Russell we ended up down 5 ticks. Okay, we ended up missing, well, we just ended up down 5 ticks on the Russell. I'll go through the trades in just a few minutes here. I want to take a moment to suggest to anyone who has taken the free trial, who has not gotten back to me, or who is near the end of their free trial, if you want to become a partner, get in touch with me. And you can do that by emailing support@cfrn.net, and I will tell you what it takes to become a partner. If you have not taken the free trial and you want to, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. That's APPLY. Okay, when you take the free trial, you'll get our charts, you'll get our indicators, you'll get all that stuff for 5 business days. And you'll get all the data feeds, everything that you want, and you'll have access in the live trading room to sit with us and trade with us and learn with us and move forward. For everyone that is a partner who missed the meeting last night, there is something new right here that I'm working on. Alright, I introduced it last night to the partners that were in the meeting last night, and hopefully I'll have it ready to go here shortly for everyone to be able to use and download. Alright, again, those of you guys who are not partners, you don't know anything about this because you didn't go to the meeting. But let's just let's start out here by going through the trades. Okay. This morning on the 4-tick range, I didn't even attempt to take anything on the 4-tick range. It was covered up most of the morning. The setups that we did look at this morning were setups that we went over in the meeting last night. The types of setups we went over in the meeting last night. Basically looking at continuation trades, momentum trades, using this new indicator with this cross right here. And after testing the BBC and closing below the MA1, right here where you see it was circled, a short there, a short over here, the same thing. These need to be moved over. There you go. A short in those 2 spots up here, a long right here. Alright, and right now it's possibly getting ready to put in another long opportunity right here if it closes back up above the MA1. Alright. That's what we were looking at in the partners meeting last night, and that's what we went over on the ES in the live trading room this morning. We didn't take any trades on the ES this morning. Okay. Over here on the YM, I took 2 trades and I got a break even on both of them, but I'll show you what happened to them. Alright. This was the first trade that we took right here. This was pretty much the same as that other one that I just showed you. We had the cross down here. Price tested the BBC, it closed down below the MA1, and I entered on the close below the MA1. Price went in my favor quite a ways. I moved my stop to right here where the BBC is. It came back, stopped me out right at the BBC, and then dropped at least 20 ticks where my profit target would have been. But you can see right here we had the bearish divergence, and a cross. There was another opportunity right here in the meantime. On the same move down, we could have entered right there. You see the double divergence right there and the cross down there. Price rolled back up. Okay, you see it started to move back up. The BBC crossed. The MA1 crossed over the BBC. Price pulled down here, closed up right here. This was my second trade. I took this trade. We had the cross here and the double divergence. I went long there. It moved in my favor, and I moved my stop to just below the BBC, and it came just below the BBC and got me out at break even again. And then it continued up. Now my entry over here, I believe, was at 953. Right there. It was at 12,953. And it's gone up to 13,023. So 53 to 23, what's that? 70 ticks? It's gone 70 ticks in my favor, 70 points in my favor from there. There were a couple of other opportunities to enter into that trade. You see we had the double divergence here with the cross, the double divergence here with the cross, and double divergence over here with a cross. So there were a couple of other times, other places to enter that trade. Okay. I did not get those. Our morning session stopped before this last one, and there was some reason why I didn't do these. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure there was a reason. That was the YM. Alright, let me bring the 6E over, and we'll go over the stuff that happened in the 6E this morning. The 6E was once again not too active until about 10:30, and then it started to run up. Alright, here, pre-market, when the elbow was broken to the downside, the white was leading the green, suggesting the pullback to the BBC would hold, and it did. Again, right here, we had some bearish divergence, and the pullback to the BBC held. Alright, over here, the white down here on the combo was not leading the green, so we were not anticipating the BBC holding here. It did hold for a bit, but we weren't anticipating it. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. Now, once it got over here, though, and it came down and tested the BBC, and we had complete bullish divergence right here. The close up above the MA1 was a possibility. Again, right here, with the close above the MA1. Right here, we didn't have any divergence, so it wasn't as high a probability a trade. Okay, over here, right now, the white is leading the green, right here. The white is to the left of the green. So when the elbow broke to the downside and it pulled back up here to the BBC, we were expecting the BBC to hold, and it did. Okay, we're setting up some bearish divergence right now, so I expect the BBC will probably hold here. If we close down below the MA1, that should be a good short trade right there. All right, that is the 6E. Now let me bring the NQ over. The NQ traded a lot like the Russell this morning. We didn't take any trades on the NQ, though I will go over the setups that did happen. Okay, just using the same exact stuff that I just showed you on all those other markets, I'll show you it right here on the NQ. Okay, the double divergence right here, we have bearish divergence here and bearish divergence here. This was the cross down. This was the close below. All right. So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna add a couple of things in here. There we go, so I can outline it for you. Right there. Right there, and here's a divergence, and here's a divergence. Okay, yeah, that was that. Then moving along, right over here, we didn't exactly have double divergence, but what I went over last night in the room to minimize the opportunity to overtrade, what I went over was taking the trades below the MA1 or above the MA1 after the BBC has been tested. So like right here where the BBC was tested, we got a cross down right here. Alright, we don't have the double divergence on this one, so you're not expecting as much out of it. Right here we did, so you were expecting a better move out of that. But same thing over here, it tested it there, moved down right here, but in this particular case, this was already down at the bottom, so we weren't expecting all that much to happen there. I mean, doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It did happen. But up here we had the double divergence. Everything was in place in the proper spot right here. Okay, this is the NQ, so I wasn't really watching the NQ today. But this is what I would have been doing had I been watching the NQ. Okay, because this is what we were doing with all the other markets. All right. The idea is to minimize the number of trades, and preferably just take fewer trades that are I'm not going to say better quality trades, because all the trades that win are they're winning trades, but just reducing the opportunity to overtrade. All right, at the end of the day, you don't want to take 100 trades to make 2 points. You'd rather take 2 trades to make 2 points, or 1 trade to make 2 points. Alright, so you can see right here the same thing was happening again and again. Okay, I'm not going to beat this one to death. I'm just going to point it out. Okay, that was the first one. This was the second one. This right here was the third one. And over here it's setting up a short right now as we speak, right here. Okay. And look for the cross down right there. Okay. Now, this indicator down here, the one on the bottom, is not available yet to everyone. But those of you guys who are in the live trading room, you got to watch it on my computer this morning, and I will have it out to those of you who are partners shortly. Okay. All right. So I did the 6E, the NQ, the YM, and the ES. Now the Russell. Let's bring this Russell over. Okay. I'll show you what we did on the Russell. We did have quite a few trades this morning on the Russell, and we missed, as usual, we missed quite a few trades. Right here at the open, there was an opportunity. The same exact stuff that we were just doing on all those other markets. All right. What I'm trying to do here for everyone's benefit is stick with one trade setup that works across all the markets and all the time frames. All right, as much as possible. There was the move up over here where I've drawn the arrow. Move down, I've already drawn these arrows in. There was the cross down. All right, so over here, the cross up, divergence, divergence. Right in there was the entry spot. Over here, once the MA1 crossed down below the BBC, right here was the opportunity to short. You had the bearish divergence and the cross down. This wasn't the perfect opportunity right here. It did work. Now we're getting into right here. These are the trades I actually took. I took this first trade right here, and I had a bad entry on it, and it stopped me out. All right. Then it pulled back up here, and it gave the same trade setup again, and I took it again, and I made my 10 points on it. Okay, or 10 ticks. Sorry, this is the Russell. It was 10 ticks. There was another one right over here. We had the cross down after testing the BBC. This right here was the entry. I missed it, but it went to the target. Okay, there was another one right over here. The market got pretty choppy right in here, and I got hit on this first one. I got stopped out on the first one, and it gave me another opportunity. Right here, I took it, and it immediately went about 6 ticks in my favor. And then it came back, and it started to chop around a bit, so I moved my stop to break even. I didn't actually stop out right there. I think I ended up going over here is where I got out of it. But I got out at break even on that one. All right, so at this point in the day, I think I was down 11 ticks from this trade right here. All right, I was at break even after this one, and I was down after this one. Right over here, you see we had the bullish divergence, the cross up right there. Close above the MA1. I took this trade right here, and I got out up here. I took a 6-tick profit on that one, and I got out right up there. All right, the market got really choppy right in here. I don't think I took any trades in there at all, because you can tell I got 5 ticks. Minus 5 ticks was my net for the morning. There was another opportunity right here during the break where you would have been looking to go long right there. Now right here, there's one going on right now. Okay, on the short side. Right here's cross down. Okay, right there is the cross down. Here is bearish divergence. Here is bearish divergence. And right there, the MA1 dropped below the BBC, came back, price came back, tested the BBC, and closed back down below the MA1. So the entry was right there. Okay, the high of that bar was at 18.9. So let's say you got in at 18.88, right in that range. You'd be sitting on 5 or 6 ticks profit on it right now. I anticipate that this will probably move down to the weekly zone down here. These blue lines right here are a weekly zone. So price will probably move down there. It may not be directly down there. It may move back up. Test the PVC a couple times on the way, but that's what I anticipate. All right. Now, all the stuff that I just went over is stuff we went over in the partners meeting last night. Okay? Everything that I just went over is stuff we went over in the partners meeting. This indicator down here is a way to minimize all these combos so we can put it all in one place, really. Okay? That's what that indicator is for. It's not available yet to the public, well, or to the partners even. It'll never be available to the public. It'll be available to the partners. Okay? Unless you're on a free trial. But eventually, I'll get it out in the indicator store. But just scrolling back, I mean, you guys can you can eyeball this and see over and over again how these things work. Okay. Over and over again. All right. And that was, I don't know, was that in the pre-market? Yeah, that was yesterday. That was yesterday. If we scroll back some more, I may still have, I don't think I do, but I may still have, no, I don't. I was thinking I would still have all my marks from yesterday on here. All the trades that I took yesterday. Because you would see that there would be fewer trades today. Like this one right here, I probably tried to go long on this yesterday when right there would have been the short entry. Right there would have been a short entry. Right here would have been a short entry. And right here the MA1 was above the BBC, so we would have stopped right there. If we didn't have the weekly trading zone, right there would have been a long entry. Right here would have been a short entry. That would have actually continued right into this next one. That would have also been a short entry. Another one right over here. Okay, then over here on the other side, right here, would have been a long entry. Right up here would have been another long entry. Oops, right up there. Ignoring the weekly trading zones. Of course, I don't trade into the zones, but that's what we would have been looking at. Then it got really choppy in here, and the market couldn't decide whether it wanted to go up or down. There were no trade setups in there, in that whole area right in there. Okay, there was one right there. But we would have waited until it moved out. Then we would have been looking to short right over here. Okay, and that was pretty much yesterday's day. Right there. That was it. All right. For those of you guys who haven't taken a trial, this is the kind of stuff that we do live in the live trading room in the morning. We go over all this stuff live. All right. This has taken us a little longer than I had anticipated. I didn't even put up my question box to see if anybody had any questions.
And David still has all those little sandwiches to make.
Oh, good, good. Okay, so yeah, there are some questions in here. Hang on. Gold, silver, a link to that article. Registering for the week. And the green line leads, the white line. What does that suggest? The BBC will hold or fall. When you're talking about on the 6E, right, Frank? When the green line leads the white line, that suggests the BBC will fail. Okay, it will not hold. When the white line is leading, that suggests the BBC will hold. Right here. Okay.
Larry had put a comment in. Hey, Dwayne, after registering for the week, what do I click on the next day to get into the webinar? Thanks. Okay, Larry, great question. What happens, guys, is when you go in and register, like on Monday, to get signed up for the radio show all week, you only have to register once. You'll get an email each day that says radio show starts in 30 minutes or however they do that, and then you just click that link. It could be, Larry, that your email is going to your spam folder or your bulk folder or just some other folder than your inbox, because it is a mass email that's sent out to everyone that's registered. So try to figure out where it's going, and then especially if you're using Gmail, they make it very simple. There's a little yellow arrow that you can go, this is not bulk, or this is not spam, and then in the future, every day it'll go straight to your inbox, because you can teach it what is good and what you want and what you don't want. So I haven't tweeted a lot lately. I did tweet on the Russell last night. Well, I tweeted a 2-point scalp on the ES that worked out, and then I tweeted a short on the Russell, consider selling 818 on a stop, which that worked out pretty good because we ended up going down to about 812, 811.80, something like that. So 7 points on the Russell, that's equivalent to about 14 points on the ES, right, Mike?
7 points on the Russell, yes, it is equivalent to 14 on the ES, correct.
Well, I haven't been tweeting a lot lately, guys. Not because I'm mad or anything. I just haven't. And I thought about it last night. It was like, wow, okay, we'll go tweet something. And so I looked around at the different markets, and that looked pretty good. And if you go back and look at last night's chart, you might see why it looked good. And if you can't see, then take the free trial, come join us Monday morning, and I'll show you exactly why I thought that looked like a good trade. Okay? All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other business we need to take care of?
Nope. It looks like we got everything covered in here. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right, you guys know how to take the free trial. Oh, and Friday's always a great day to take the free trial because if you act now, you can run and download the platform, get the indicators installed, get your data flowing while Bert is still in the office to help you. And then all weekend you get to play with the platform, play with the charts, play with the indicators, and you're kind of up to speed Monday morning when the market opens, and then you spend the next 5 days in the live trading room. So, splendid day to take a free trial at cfrn.net/apply. Don't go away. We're off to visit our good friend David Williams at pagetrader.com.
You're listening to CFRN.